Apart from the 3D modeling surface, in the 3D modeling surfaces, we can texture the objects we have modeled. Be it Maya, be it Blender, or any other 3D modeling surface, we can texture the objects in that surface itself. But the problem is the level of accuracy and the level of authenticity you get in the 3D modeling surface is a bit less compared to the separate texturing surface. So that's why we are using softwares like Substance Painter and ZBrush, those kind of softwares to texture the models we create in the other 3D modeling softwares. So for now, to texture an object, we must UV unwrap the object. I tell you what's UV unwrapping and why you should do UV unwrapping to texture an object first. So let me. This is not specific to any Maya alone. This is specific to all 3D modeling surface. As I use Maya, I'll explain you this concept in Maya. That's all. But this is generic to all the 3D modeling surface. Let me take a cube here. So this cube has four sides, four sides in the faces, and one at the top and one at the bottom. Totally six faces here. So if you are going to apply a texture on face, right? If I'm going to add a texture to this face around here in 3D in the software Maya, if we add a texture from the outside here, it will be applied here, and I can't do anything more than that in this software. I can apply a raw material as a texture here, and I can't add details to that in this software. Or in case I'm adding a wooden material here and I want to do some engravings here in this face here, I can do that in Maya. Even if I can, that will be a lot of work and it won't be as good as we do it on a texturing software. And another reason why we should go for other texturing softwares is the kind of materials and the realistic senses of the materials provided there are far more greater than what we can download from the internet and use it on these models. That's why you go for texturing softwares here or there. And on the coming to the next part, the why we should UV unwrap the models is, so here we can see that we have four faces here. In case keep that this model is a bit transparent and the inside part of the cube is also visible, you can't leave that part untextured. So you have to texture it inside also. So to do that, now you can only access the outside part of the cube here right now. You can't go to the inside part here. So for that, to unwrap this, unwrapping is like take it like keep this cube as think of this cube as a box. You're gonna tear this piece. You're gonna open it here. We are gonna tear it here and open it here. We are gonna tear it, open it here. It will be like totally flat. Now it's like a three-dimensional object. When you tear it open, it will be very flat and it will be like you can only see the faces around, not like an object. You'll only see the faces, so that the entire object is open and you can paint it inside or outside. You can paint wherever you want. You don't have the restriction of painting it outside alone. You can paint it inside also. That's why we do UV unwrapping. I will show you. I'm not going to teach you how to UV unwrap an object. I just show how it looks when it's UV unwrapped. This is what I was talking about. So this is like if you close it here, if you close it here, and if you close it here, and if you close it here, it will make a cube right here. Now it's opened. All the faces are visible here. So now if this is why you should UV unwrap the object. For example, if you use some other complex models, take it like if you are UV unwrapping a boat. Take your UV unwrapping a boat. And that will be like the total parts of the boat will be scattered in the screen totally, and you have to take it out and stitch it manually. Stitching the sense, if these are cubes, so even if they are scattered, you can easily arrange it with the proportion and whether it fits or not. In case if you're going for complex models like a boat, a sword, something like, even if you take a spear, it's going to be difficult for you to unwrap it manually. That's why there's an option called automatic UV unwrapping here. We are not going to get into that and all. For now, this is why we should do UV unwrapping. It will make the job easier for you to texture the model easily. Texturing can be done in Photoshop. It's Photoshop also, but again, as I said before, it won't be as good as a professional model or something like that. To attain perfection, we are moving into softwares which provide good looking textures. That's why we use texturing softwares here. Now to open a file here, just go to the file. The interface is pretty much similar like any other layer software. File edit mode window. The interface is very simple like other softwares only. So let me tell you how to open the file. Go to new and leave the template as it is, as a default one. Go to there's an option called file here. Go to select and import files. um, Another thing is import your models as obj files. Be it any software, use Blender or Maya, import the files as the object, obj files here. Then only it will be opened in Substance Painter. Select the file and click OK here. So now I will tell you how to navigate in this. So now press Alt and press the leftmost button to just rotate it dimensionally in all directions. Alt plus your left mouse button. And press Alt again, press the middle mouse button to pan it. Then again Alt plus the right mouse button, drag the right mouse button to zoom in and zoom out the model. Alt plus right mouse button for moving the object here and there. Alt plus middle mouse button for panning the object. Alt plus right mouse button to zoom in and zoom out the object. Now there are views here. How do you want to view the object? There's an option for that here. 3D and 2D means the 3D object and the I taught you. I told you about UV unwrapping, right? In Maya, the UV is unwrapped here. This is the 3D object view, and this is the UV view. That's what you call it as 3D and 2D view. And if you select 3D only the 3D object will be displayed. The 2D part will be gone. And again, if you select 2D only the UV unwrapped part of the model will be visible here. And if you so preferably to start working, we will select 3D and 2D itself. Now let me tell you how to apply an texture to the software. So this is in the default material setup here. So if you want, this is also there's some basic layer out here. This layer in this layer we have not done anything yet. So scroll down here, and you can see the base color of this object. If you want to change the base color, just select it here and select any other color you want. You can change the color, base color of the object for here. If you don't want to work with any materials here, if you want to just change the base color, you can do it here. So these are the materials defaultly available in the Substance Painter here. These are all the materials you have here. And moving to the next bar here, these are called smart materials. Apart from the normal materials here, these are called smart materials, which offers a bit of more authenticity to the model. Check the materials. Wait, what's available? And the other option goes to the masks. About masks, we'll talk about that later. These are filters. Again, about this we'll talk later. And these are brushes we are gonna use to paint the model out up there. Again, alphas are called the brush types, And these are custom made textures here, with the embossing and those kind of stuff out here. These are custom made here, and these are environments where you render the object here in Substance Painter. I'll show it to you, and we'll go to the rendering part here. Now we'll come back to the materials second here. So we want to apply. Okay, go with the. I'll go with Cobalt Pure right here. So I want to apply this to the cube out here. I'm gonna drag that into the cube out there directly. You can see the materials change right here. Can you see that? I'll undo that again. So I'm dragging another material. I'm gonna put it here. So this is a model with CV unwrapped. So when I place a material in the object here, the total UV gets affected. So I want to apply gold on top of this. So I'm gonna drag this gold material into the layer here. I have applied the gold material on top of this. Now I don't want the gold layer on the whole object. I want it to be in few places of the cube. So to do that, click the layer mask here. Add mask option here. Near in the layers near the base color line. Add effect, add mask. So get into the add mask, left click it, add white mask. You can see a mask created here. Now go to the part where you don't want the gold texture. So I don't want the gold texture on top of the cube, so I'm brushing it out there. So I am completely removing the gold layer on top of the cube right here. So I'm not doing it precisely, I'm just showing you guys how to do it. So don't mind the shaggy work at the end. So it's always better to work on the 2D and 3D view, so that when you paint the textures here, you can view which part gets affected and which part doesn't get affected to know that. So I remove the gold texture on top of that. So in case now I want to add one more layer at the top here, so I'm adding this iron diamond thing here again. So again, you want to erase some parts of the cube, and you want the gold layer to be visible here. Then again, go to the mask option here, click add white mask, and brush on the layer. Like this, you can add as many layers as you want, depending upon the model you use. You can just brush it like this. So I'm adding one more layer at the top here. So I want the below parts to be visible here. Then again, I am adding the white mask here. I'm erasing it here. So the changes you made in the before layers also will be visible. I have made this line on the gold layer, so again it's also visible in the another layer I use here. So likewise, you can construct patterns according to your idea using these layers and materials right here. So you can see the usage of different materials here, right? So this is the basics to texturing in Substance Painter here. So now I'll show you guys to texture as what. I'll just texture it and show it to you. Then you can proceed with texturing your own model. Okay, fine. Again, this is not an UV unwrapped model. And one more info, guys. The substance painter unwraps the UV automatically, but the UVs are not arranged properly. So you can't paint on the UVs directly. Substance whenever you place a model which is not UV unwrapped, the substance is played as an UV, but you can see that it is not unwrapped properly. It's not even unwrapped. You can't say which part is which. Just it is just as an it is visible as an UV. That's all. It's not arranged properly. So that's why when you bring. So again, I'm gonna pick the aluminum part and add it on the sword here. The reason why these three are in three pieces is they are not modeled as a single blade. They have been attached here. That's why we have to put the materials thrice here. So I'm gonna take the aluminum again and put it in the blade here. So can you see the texture applied on the blade? So I apply aluminum on the blade here. So if the blade is so for the handle part, I'm gonna add some other material here. Okay, I'll use the gold Puron here. So I'm gonna drag it and put the gold part on the handle here. So for this part here, I need to use another material. So I'll go with something very good platinum here. So there are some engravings right here. So we also need to apply textures to them also. So I'll go with steel paint or something. Okay, I'm gonna apply it inside. Spin applied inside. So there are also engravings on the top of here. So I'm gonna apply another material to that. Okay, let me apply something. So let me apply this plastic. It's small here. So the basic texturing is done here. So this is how you add textures to a model. So to make it more realistic, a sword is not going to be perfectly like this clean and all. So it will contain some dirt and it will contain some scratches. To make them like I'll add something. This is I have used the dust texture here in the smart materials here. This is not like it's not like a whole texture. It is like this. And if you want to reduce the amount of dust here, again you can create smart add a white mask here, and again you can drop it, brush it out, and you can reduce the amount of dust here. And if you want to add more dust, again you can go on to add the amount of dust you want to add. And also in the handle, it's not going to be pure, so we need to add that here. We'll add some more dust here. So guys, can you see a camera icon at the top here? Rendering array. It will be visible like that. Can you see this? Just click that. So now this what is in an custom made environment here. If you want to change the environment here, get into the render settings here, and you can change the resolution of the render you're gonna make and those kind of stuff here. And there's an option called display settings down to the render settings here, and there is an option called environment settings here. Below that there is a bar called environment map here. So if you click it, you'll find already built environments down here. So it's in panorama now. I'm gonna change the environment to something else. I'm gonna okay, the environment is changed now. I'm gonna change it to something a second like this. Okay, this is fine for this. I think we'll turn something else. Okay, this is small app. Okay, I'll leave it this. Oh, can you see the shades of green here? This is due to the lighting of this environment out here, and the lighting part and all I'll teach you in the next session. Again, like using the interface, you can change the view of the object out here. Like this. Okay, I'll leave it as well as I'll take the render. Management render to to save the rendered image. Get into the render settings here, and there is an option called save render here. Click the save render and save it in the format you want, in the place where you want. You save it as what PNG. You can save it. That's all. You can save it like this. That's all regarding the rendering.